Come breath. Come breath. Come breath. Come breath. Come breath. You're my bad, guys. I kind of wanted to double check and make sure we got all of these cards, because I don't know why, but I feel like I thought this was, I know there's a deck that I got that is missing like 2 cards. I thought this was it, but it's not. Happy Monday. Somebody's like, yeah, happy Monday. He said nobody ever. Happy Monday, darlings. I hope you guys can hear me and see me well. I hope. You got me feeling. I don't know why I got that song in my head since earlier. Today, today's a national holiday for me personally. So, I think it's only right that we start out this party with the Hermetic Tarot. This was actually my pops's deck. Today would have been his birthday, and I kind of want to start there. I'm waiting for the chat to load because I do want to tap in with y'all today. That would be, you know, ideal. Don't start your shit because you will go inside. You was just fine. Lay back down. I don't care. You give me the helicopter ears, bro. That shit don't faze me. You got me feeling. I can't leave you alone. Somebody is in the schmood today. You heard? It ain't me, but somebody's in the schmood. Yo. So really quick, right? The title. Am I shuffling this bitch upside down? Hold on, because no. Ooh. The Star, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles, which is a 10 of Pentacles. That's actually pretty dope. That's actually... Can't argue with that. Can't complain. The title, don't forget that they chose something else, and I definitely spelled that wrong, but I'll fix that later on. Don't forget that they chose something else over you, realizing just how strong you are. So to get the title, I didn't have the time to actually sit with the members and pull cards, but I did pull cards. I actually pulled from the Mystic Mondays Tarot because today's Monday. I know, mad cheesy, but to be honest, I was going to use them last week. These bad boys. I gotta be real with y'all, right? This, aside from the Venetian I can connect to, the Golden Lenormand. I can connect to it. I just don't like to. This one, though, out of all the decks I've ever had and ever used and ever owned, This is the one that I connect the least to, which is probably why this is easily the deck that you see the least on this channel. Even in my personal readings, I don't think I've ever used this deck for personal reading. Last week, though, I took it out because I was actually being drawn to it. This is probably why. Knight of Cups at the bottom. See? It's triggering me. Maybe that's why. Yeah, we're not using this today. But I did use this to get the title. And I ended up getting the Tower with the Seven of Wands. And I'll be lying if I told you I remember what else I got. I just know that the message itself, don't forget that they chose something else over you. This doesn't have to be romantic. This could be someone who's trying to get you to do something with them, work with them, partner with them, invest in them. Don't forget that you already tried that. Don't forget that because somebody's trying to gaslight you into believe, or into like, but why you, like, what's the problem that you can't just meet me halfway? Bro, you already went full force. Okay? And if this is somebody who's trying to get you to work with them and you've never worked with them before, then the message doesn't apply. This message is particularly for somebody or for people who have already worked together. They've already invested together. They've already tried. They've already been together. If it's romantic, there's something here where it's like we've already tried to do that. We've already tried this because your gut is telling you no. Your gut is telling you abort. But they're trying to, and it's gaslighting because they're trying to convince you that you're doing a disservice to yourself and you're not being fair to them. So that's the message there. And realizing just how strong you are, the Strength card came out, and it came out, the Strength card was the card that came out with the Tower. Realizing just how strong you are, I think somebody needs to give themselves credit for what they've overcome already. Somebody's overwhelmed with what else they need to do, but I just feel like you should kind of bring it back. Not to dwell on the past, but just acknowledge. It's okay to acknowledge. I think somebody may be triggered by this. Like, somebody doesn't give themselves the flowers that they deserve. If you're a woman and this is literally, go buy yourself some flowers. Like, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? Somebody's like waiting on a hill for something to come to them. If you want flowers, go get them yourself. It's really not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really not. Be careful with that energy too. And they're specifically showing me flowers, so they're gonna kind of take me on a little spin here. Somebody keeps saying, oh, you know, I wish I had someone that was like romantic and bought me flowers and did the nice things and blah 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 blah. Be careful with that, because blah 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 blah, what you're gonna manifest is somebody that only gets you flowers when they fuck up. It is the most embarrassing thing to experience. Okay, this is somebody who you're gonna manifest somebody who only does the nice gestures when they're in the wrong. And it's like, you may not even know in the moment, like when you're receiving these flowers, you may not know they did something fucked up, but their conscience knows, and it's only a matter of time before you find out. It's one of those things. So if you in a position where you feel like, even if you're single and you feel like, damn, I wish I had somebody to do X, Y, and Z, be that person. Be that. I've been on here for the last 5 years telling y'all, the type of partner y'all want, y'all have to be before y'all can even manifest that. Just because you're manifesting a type of partner, if you're not that type of partner, what you're going to get is the karmic version of what you're manifesting. I don't even know that I did that justice, but that's what I've been saying for 5 years. And that's essentially what I'm saying right now. So that's the title. I don't know how much of that is going to be in the message. I'm hoping not much of it, because I really don't want to sit here with y'all for another hour and a half today talking about burning bridges and karmics and all that shit. I don't. It's just not what I would rather be doing other things. So we're going to tap in. And again, we're using the Hermetic Tarot. This is This is not a special deck to me. This is the special deck to me. And I want to sit down. So, for those of y'all who are not familiar, this deck is actually based on the esoteric working of the Secret Order of the Golden Dawn, which is pretty dope. If you haven't checked that out, you probably might want to do that. This chat, take your hammers to pull up. When it does clear off on my screen, I'm gonna tap in with y'all. So you got me feeling. All right. You know how they say, damn, well, somebody woke up on the wrong side of the bed. This is somebody who woke up on the right side. Something makes sense to someone today. I want to say there's something about today. I want to say that, but it's no pun intended, because there is something about today for me personally. But there is something about today. I don't know. Oh, is today the new moon? Today or tomorrow is the new moon? How did I forget that? I mean, I didn't forget it. Wait a minute, hold on. Because I was supposed to send somebody a reading for the new moon. I think... Damn, did I do it? No, I think I did do it. Fuck. I recorded a personal reading a few weeks back, and I made a mental note. Yo, send this out for the new moon because of something that came out in the reading. And now I'm questioning, did I send it out? Because I'm sitting here now and I forgot that it's between today and tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. I think it's the 21st. Either way, I digress, because I'll be on here for another 20 minutes thinking about this. There's something about today. It's something energetically about today that has somebody... Something all of a sudden, something suddenly makes sense. Something suddenly... And it's interesting because somebody's like, how the fuck did I miss this? Like, how did I not see this? Or why the hell did I ignore this? Or why the hell was I pushing this back? Or why the hell did I do that? Somebody, you know how when you get drunk and then you wake up the next day and you're like, why the fuck? Why? Like, why did I do that? Somebody's feeling like that today. But it's interesting because it's a mix of like, damn, like, why the fuck did I miss all this time? Or why did I waste all this time? It's a mixture of that and a mixture of kind of like optimism. I'm going to be real here, though. The optimism, I don't know how long the optimism is going to last. Because I can't lie. I can't lie to you. I can't lie to you. I don't know how many of y'all seen that video. That shit cracks me up every time. But I genuinely can't lie. That optimism, I feel like somebody's gonna burst that bubble. The reality of something is gonna burst that bubble. It's like, oh, this is wild specific. And this is just gonna be an example. So don't take this literally. This is like an example. This is somebody waking up out of like a coma 10 years later, and they're like, what the hell? Like, what the hell? Like, they're up and they're like, okay, they're ready to go back to work. They're ready to go back to their family. They're ready to go back to their life. But 10 years has passed. And that job is no longer even a thing. Number one, let alone the position is no longer available. Number two, the family has moved. The family has moved on. The husband, the wife have remarried. Life happened. And this person went from like, oh shit, I'm up, I'm happy, I'm with it. Like, let's go, let's start moving. To, oh shit, it's been 10 years. And I let all this time pass. And the family had, the 10 of Cups. The family has moved on. And it's not like the family doesn't love the person. It's just 10 years went by. And we went through a lot of shit to have to figure out how to make a life without you for 10 years. And so you can't necessarily expect for things to stop, for the universe to stop. The universe in this deck is the World card. The optimism is very short-lived here. Somebody woke up this morning and was like, yes, like this is what I'm gonna, because I wowed out. Of course, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And then they turn around and try to go do that thing or send that email or something, and it's like they don't get the response that they, it's not like a, oh my god, dad's home, or oh my god, I missed you, I love you, blah blah blah. It's not that. It's like, oh shit, what up? That's how it is. Some of the optimism is very short-lived here. That first hit of sugar a day. Woo! I don't think it's supposed to be like that, though. I don't think that's a good thing. Oh, nah. Oh, nah. You wild out. That's mad cards. Fuck my life, because we're going to read them all. Holy shit. What the hell, Leonte? Okay, 7 of Cups with the Hermit and the 10 of Swords. Somebody's lost. Somebody is lost. Somebody doesn't know where to begin. Somebody feels like there's a lot on their plate with the 7 of Cups. Somebody feels like there's a lot to work through. Somebody feels like, I said the 10 of Swords. It's the 2 of Swords. Somebody feels like they're not quite sure on how something can play out, why something played out the way that it did. There's a lot of questions here that are gonna be unanswered. Specifically because I got the Hermit here. So this is a lot of like, somebody's doing all of this and they're not gonna find the answer because they're not going to an outside source for the answers. Somebody's trying to solve something on their own. And I don't think that's, it doesn't make, I mean, it makes sense to me because somebody's doing this because they're either ashamed to ask questions, they're ashamed to ask these specific questions, or somebody's trying to do it this way because they know that the person or the people they need to get the answers from are people that have already tried to help them. But again, in the title, we were talking about that, right? With the title, don't forget that they chose something else over you. So someone that chose something else, now they need your help with something, but they're not asking you because they already made their bed. They already chose something else. Someone is laying in the bed that they created, laying in the mess that they created, right? Hypothetically speaking. 8 of Pentacles. It could be literal. Someone is literally laying in the bed that they chose over y'all bed. If this is a person. It is what it is. 8 of Pentacles, though. 8 of Pentacles brings this back to work. So I like it here. All right. Somebody may have been in the middle of trying to fix something when they broke it for the last time. Or somebody was in the middle of trying to fix something. It's almost like think of like a plumber trying to fix a leak, and then they walk out in the middle of the job and kind of leave shit in disarray, because because then how you gonna come back and try to fix it now you don't. To fix the pipe that was leaking, you fucking removed the whole pipe, so now the shit is all over the place. Like, it's a bigger mess now than what it was before. So now how do you address that? You know, it's like, whatever this is, somebody's like, this is unheard of. This is something I've never seen, some shit like this. I've never experienced some shit like this. I've never did some shit like this. It's like that. I'm going to be honest, though. 6 of Cups and the Judgment tells me, is it something that's unheard of? Or did you see this play out? If this is romantic, somebody's saying like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know why I did this. You know why. Because your father moved this way. If I'm talking to a man, this is a man that's feeling this, his father operated this way. And maybe not verbatim, but ultimately the mess that someone created, if it's a man, it's it's the same mess that his father created. If it's a woman, it's the same concept. It's the same mess that your mom created when you were growing up. It's like, if we're talking about, I don't want to go into this. I really don't want to go into this, but that's essentially what's happening here. The thing is, somebody either, and we do have the Two of Swords here, right? So somebody's looking at this like, I genuinely don't know, like, what the fuck caused this. But we all know, right? The two, especially on this platform, we've covered the Two of Swords mad times. The Two of Swords energy is somebody who has a blindfold over their face, but their hands are not restricted. If they wanted to for real, they could remove the blindfold. One would argue, one being me, because I argue this every time the Two of Swords comes up and we go into the spiel, that the reason why the girl in the Two of Swords doesn't remove the blindfold, even though she's not bound, even though she's not restricted, the reason why she doesn't remove the blindfold is because she already knows that there is chaos or some form of chaos going on around her. So when she sits there and she says, I had no idea, you're lying. You did know. You just didn't want to admit it. You just didn't want to acknowledge it. Very big difference. So somebody's saying, I don't know how this got to this point. You know. I don't know how this mess got this big. You do know. I don't know why this happened. You do know. You do know because you've seen it play out before. Nine of Swords and the Magician, and it's funny because you do know because you've seen it play out before, even if you don't like to speak about it, because somebody doesn't like to speak about it. That's the Nine of Swords and the Magician. Somebody's like, if I do enough to make it look this way, then I'll never have to admit that it's actually this way. This is denial. This is denial 101. That's what this is. Ace of Wands with the Nine of Pentacles. This is that optimism that I said somebody genuinely woke up this morning like, duh, how could I ever question? Of course this is the right thing to do. Of course this is where I'm supposed to be. Of course this is, like, they're my family. Of course. Really. It's interesting too because the Ace of Wands, I got Three of Wands, which is a Four of Wands. The thing is, all these wands are in flame. Literally. Like where we typically see wands that are just wands, these wands are up in smoke. It's the Four of Wands, and I got Three Pentacles here. Five of Cups with the Three of Swords. I want to point something out real quick before I even, right? So this is how it looked. The only card the first card I noticed on this side was the Hangman, even when it fell out. And this is the last card, because if you see it, it's literally at the bottom of all of this. But it's the first card that I noticed when I moved the cards, or when the cards fell out. Five of Cups with the Three of Swords and the Hierophant. I feel like this is self-destruction, though. Like this was self-inflicted. This destruction was self-inflicted. Why they just said that 9 different ways, I don't know. Because brings me back to the Hangman. This is something that you have to deal with it. The only way to get through it is by you dealing with it. And I think somebody was avoiding dealing with it. So when someone asks, well, why the fuck did I waste all this time? Because you didn't want to deal with your problems. You didn't want to deal with your problems. The sentence is, that's it. There's a period there. The thing is, like the analogy of the plumber. The plumber came in and already had a problem. There was already a leak. The pipes were already leaking. And so while the plumber's there kicking and bitching and moaning and screaming about doing a job that he's getting paid for, because that's important here. The plumber's getting paid to do this job. This is not something the plumber is doing because out of the goodness of his heart. God forbid, right? The plumber is actually getting paid to do this job. Still in all, the plumber didn't want to do the job, and so the plumber walks out for whatever reason, middle of the job, leaves the shit in more disarray, right? And then you're going to complain that you don't get the reward for it, because you're not going to get compensated for it. You didn't finish the job, plumber, right? Okay. So now, if the scenario was different and the plumber had walked in because the plumber has a job to do that he is going to get compensated for, he would have come in, he would have cleaned up the pipes, fixed the fucking issue, got paid, and you would have been able to move on to the next thing. This is a hypothetical. A hypothetical, because the plumber, being a man or a woman, it doesn't even matter, but being the person, right? That's saying, I've been asleep this whole time, but I realize now what. Where you going? You want to go inside? Because you cannot come up here. There's no room for you here. Come. You can sit on my lap, but you're not getting on the table. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, Charlotte, today. Oh, you're going to go inside? Okay, so let's go inside. Come on. Let's go. Come, come, come. All right. The plumber is an analogy. It's an example. The plumber is because, and so I say that because if this is romantic or some type of familial thing, in any, whether it's romantic or platonic, it's a family dynamic. We have the Ten of Cups already, right? One of the first cards, the first card actually. The plumber, we're just gonna say it's a man for shits and giggles, right? The plumber, it's because it's his job to do this. He's getting compensated. The thing is, like, obviously a husband wouldn't get paid to do things around the house or to fix things in the relationship, to work through things in the relationship. Obviously you don't get paid physically, like, it's not currency, it's not tangible, right? But you do get compensated, because you do get paid, because it's problems that once you fix them, you don't have to come back to fix them again, right? You do get compensated because it's once you fix the problem, once y'all fix the problem, there's no revisiting the issue, because the issue no longer exists. The leak is no longer there. But because somebody left the problem midway, left things in the air, and then you bounce, you do whatever you do, and then however long you come back, and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, of course. I also, I'm genuinely confused, right? I mean, we did see the Seven of Cups, but I am genuinely confused, because why the fuck would you ever think that this would work this way? I don't understand. I don't know. It is Seven of Pentacles. With the Ten of Pentacles, this is another Eight of Pentacles. And no matter which way you were going to spin this, you were going to need to put work in. That's the thing, too. Is like, if this is a person, man or woman, so what you thought the things that you needed to fix within the relationship was things that you only needed to fix them because of the person you was with? Don't crack me up, bro. Don't do it. So you thought that all the issues that you were displaying in the dynamic was things that you were only doing because you were in that dynamic? So you thought that by being on your own or being with somebody else, you were going to be able to hold yourself accountable if you couldn't do it in this relationship? You thought that in this relationship you couldn't be faithful, but if you with somebody else, you could be faithful to them? Because when you're single, you're not even faithful to yourself. You're doing dirty shit. So for someone who I'm speaking to here, you literally doing dirty shit. Sleeping with prostitutes, shit like that. Paying for sex, things like that. Like, so you thought that the problem was the other person? And I'm saying this because of that Two of Swords. The Two of Swords, I'm not sticking around to see the problem. I'm not going to stick around long enough to have to be accountable. The Eight of Pentacles was going to find you either which way. Whether you were single, whether you in a new... You know, the funny thing is, this is always funny to me, because this happens a lot with people, right? So you think that when you with somebody, because so when you leave someone who knows the type of energy you in and has identified the type of shit you doing, when you go to somebody new, you have like a good grace period of like maybe 8 weeks ish before they start to recognize and see the type of time you on. The thing is that in the new dynamic is not, they're not already embedded. So there's no reason for them to even stick around and try to help you or try to work with you. If anything, you, by moving on and continuing to do new shit, dumb shit, you're actually doing yourself a disservice. Because it's like, it doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. I'm gonna be honest, this definitely feels like a romantic thing. If this is work related though, it's the same concept. The issue that somebody can own a company, and the issue that they're having at that company, for some reason or another, they feel like it's someone else's issue. It's not a, like it's an issue within the workers. It's not an issue within management. That's the energy that it's giving me. Because, and that's why I said the plumber was a man, because I know the ladies are not gonna like this, but if you want to be technical, women multiply. We reciprocate. And so men are supposed to lead when it comes to relationship dynamics. The thing is, right? If you're a smart woman, and if you are an ascended woman, you have mastered how to lead without it being, other people don't know that you're the one that's leading. In fact, the person that you're with doesn't realize that you're the one that's leading all the way either. Okay? The thing is that a lot of times women get wrapped up in shit with men, especially men that love to play the victim. We talked about this yesterday. I'm not going on that tangent again. But women are genuinely supposed to be reciprocators. And so when you give my dad used to say, today's his birthday, but my dad used to say, if you give a woman a house, she'll give you a home. If you give a woman crops, she'll give you a meal, right? If you give a woman this, you give a woman a seed, what does she give you in return? She gives you a child, right? It's just the way things work. And so they keep bringing me back to that. I just don't understand. I don't understand. So somebody also is like, there's not really much to not understand. There's not much to not understand. This is very, no pun intended, the deck is black and white. This is very black and white. Somebody just doesn't want to do the work. Somebody's just continually, and this is sad because this is somebody who's like 45, 50, however old. Like you're well enough where you should have probably learned this about 20 years ago. Somebody is trying to avoid doing the work. And by continuing to avoid doing the work, I think I said that wrong, but y'all understand what I'm saying. If you continue to do this, the more you continue to do this, the more you're going to find that the mess just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It don't matter how new the job is. This is somebody who also does that. Like you go from one job, things don't work out, you go to another one. Things don't work out, you go to another one. Things don't work out, you go to another one. You don't see a common denominator there? No? I digress. If it's romantic, it's the same thing. You go from relationship to relationship to relationship. You don't see the issue? No? Gotcha. Two of Wands with the Eight of Swords says somebody operates this way. Somebody only makes decisions or can only ever make, or not even that you can only. It's you've already programmed yourself. Whoever I'm speaking to has already programmed themselves to make decisions while their backs are against the wall. That's why their heart is never in it. I'm like, let me bring it back because I dealt with somebody like this. It's annoying as fuck, right? Because when you're gonna grow up? Like when does that happen? Never? Because I'll be like, I said this yesterday to somebody. Oh, on the 1st of February, I'll be there. I was fucking with them, like I was joking with them. But when I just said, when you gonna grow up? Spirit was like, February. That's funny. But it is like, Two of Wands and the Eight of Swords. Somebody makes decisions from a place of bro, sit the fuck down. What the fuck do you want? You ever watch The Notebook? Didn't I just, I feel like I just referenced this recently. It's one of my favorite movies. That one and P.S. I Love You, my two favorites. Somebody's watching this like, bitch, you watch love movies? I have a heart, okay? However you do this thing, right? I have one. It's in there somewhere. No, but in The Notebook, Noah, he tells the girl Allie, he's like, what do you want? And she's like, I don't know. What do you want? I don't know. Allie is me, but like when I want to eat something. I don't never know what the fuck I want to eat. But like what I want to do with my life, I know that. Who I am as a person, I know that. Who I want to be with, what type of person I'm trying to be, what type of person I want in my space, I know that, right? But Allie is not me. Allie did not know. This person is Allie. But then again, if you watch the movie, Allie goes 7 years because she didn't know what she really genuinely wanted, and she didn't have the balls enough to stand up to her family. She went 7 years without getting what she wanted. And she damn near almost fucked up, because had Martha been a real bitch, Noah would have not been available after 7 years, okay? But that's a different story. Ace of Cups at the bottom. Let's go there. Moral of the story. Moral, and I was just going to say, moral of the story, right? Ace of Cups. And I said, moral of the story, and it's the Four of Pentacles. And I was just going to say, don't fuck around and play games with something that you love. Four of Pentacles is somebody that doesn't let go. You not letting go energetically is not the same as you letting go physically. Is the minute you let go of something energetically, or physically rather, then it's free game energetically. Don't do that. Don't be dumb. Eight of Wands. Be open, be honest, be direct. Eight of Wands. Five of Swords. You stay through the fights. You fight through the fights when it's something you want to do. Whether it's a business. Because if things are not going your way in the business meeting, you're just going to walk away from the business that you cultivated for the last 10 years. I don't think that's very smart. Same concept with a relationship. Somebody you love, your family, you're this, you're that. Something goes left and you just walk away from it. I don't know. I mean, you can fuck around and find out if that's what you want to do. Three of Cups and the Queen of Swords. And Justice at the bottom. I love it here. I love it here. Listen, a Queen of Swords is probably, and I'm biased here because I'm an Aquarius, right? But a Queen of Swords energy is probably the best thing since sliced bread, okay? I know for somebody who's not accountable and somebody who is probably even avoidant, sprinkled on top, the Queen of Swords may look like a nightmare. But if you're somebody that's about your shit, and somebody who's not afraid, and somebody who is going to step to the plate every time, the Queen of Swords is your best asset. The Queen of Swords is the person you want in your corner. It's the Queen of Swords. That's why the Emperor is always on his ass. Always. I always say the Queen of Swords and the Emperor is the pair for me. And because the Emperor can most times be bored with an Empress. The Queen of Swords keeps the Emperor on his toes. He's no longer on his ass. Remember yesterday, I think it was yesterday that I kind of briefly touched on somebody's kids. That somebody's kids was getting diagnosed with something, but I was saying, like, I bet you, like, if the kid is in first grade, the kid is bored with the first grade work. The kid needs extra work. The kid needs harder stuff. The kid needs to be challenged. He's bored, or she's bored. That's what's happening. I said that briefly at the end of yesterday's live, and that's kind of what's coming in with the Emperor energy. It's like somebody who's truly in their Emperor position can easily find themselves doing some not so honest shit, or not so not so good shit if they're stagnant long enough. That's anybody, not just an emperor. But with the Queen of Swords, that's not even an option for that to happen. The Queen of Swords keeps the emperor on his toes. So why we have a Six of Swords here. Oh, I didn't even peep this. Ten of Pentacles. When I cut the deck at some point here. I don't even remember cutting the deck, but there is a Ten of Pentacles here. There's a Libra that may have been running. First of all, shout out to my Libras. Happy birthday to all my Libras. I know today we officially starting out Scorpio season soon. In the next few hours, I believe. So big shout out to my Scorpios as well. But like, Libra energy is going out with a kick, with a punch, with a bang. Because there's a Libra here that is running from what they feel. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger, Luke. Don't do it. I'm like, do I want to go here? Two of Swords. Again. See the Libra energy? Heavy? Okay, because I just said this. I literally just said this. Two of Swords with the Three of Swords. Which is a Five of Swords. This is somebody who is in denial about what they feel. This is somebody who's essentially breaking their own heart. The longer you stay in the denial, the longer you keep saying, I don't give a fuck about this person, I don't miss this person, I don't love this person wasn't right. The longer you keep saying that, because it's the Five of Swords, the longer you keep fighting against that, the bigger, the worse, the messier, the bloodier, the heartbreak. Three of Swords. Somebody could have had a realization in Libra season of like, I keep doing this shit. Like I keep saying this, I keep doing this, and it's never true. But I keep finding myself in the same situation. It could have happened in Libra season. That's probably why we're getting Libra energy heavy. Yeah, fuck around and find out. They keep saying, you're gonna fuck around and find out. Death and the Chariot. Scorpio and Cancer energy. I genuinely don't think somebody's ready for that. But then now I have the Chariot with the Sun. Somebody is, no matter what you do, if this is romantic, whether you get back together with someone, whether you don't, whatever the case is, you would have no choice but to acknowledge the type of time you on or you've been on, or both. You have no choice, because it's like with this next, with the way that the energy is working and the way that shit is shifting astrologically in the universe, it's almost like for the people, I don't even know what to say for people who are still in denial about their own shit and refusing to change or refusing to acknowledge. I can't even, you on the wrong platform. I don't even know what happens. I just know that it's not what's happening to the rest of us. I feel like a lot of us have held ourselves accountable and held the people that we love the most accountable, even when it was the unpopular thing to do, the ugly thing to do, the hard thing to do. So for that, I feel like the Death card, the Chariot, the Sun card, the way that just took place, that's self-explanatory. But for the people who are still in the Two of Swords, because there are quite a few of y'all, it's like you can't lie your way into this one. This is not the part of the train station that the people behind the toll booth, they don't, this is not that train station that the people in the toll booth, or there are no people in the toll booth. There's actual police wasting their time at the turnstile. And in this case, they wouldn't be wasting their time. This is people who are like, you can't hop the train this time. You can't get on board. I think before, when we were going into the new timelines, when we were going into these new spaces, I think that some bad apples kind of like weaved in. But I don't think that that's going to be possible moving forward. Maybe that's why they showed it to me like that. Death and the Chariot. Some people have cut their because of how they operate, or because of how they think, they've cut their chances before they even got to the door. It's like you didn't even make it past TSA. You didn't even make it past TSA, let alone to the gate of the fucking plane. I don't even know what happens moving forward. For those of y'all who are still in denial and still nowhere near doing any of the work that would have been necessary to change, to be better. Look at that. Kicking and screaming all the way through. 5 of Wands. 3 of Swords. The Knight of Wands. Somebody really thinks that they're going to be able to get past TSA like this. And I keep saying TSA. I don't know why, but it's a metaphor. The 8 of Wands. And the 4 of Swords. Somebody's going to express to you something that they did, whether it's something they did to you or something they did just that affected people in general or affected themselves. Somebody's going to come to you and bring you a truth. The thing is, I feel like collective is like, I didn't even need to know that. I didn't need to know that you cheated on me when we were together. We're no longer together. I no longer give a fuck. It is what it is. I didn't need to know this information. I don't know that it's cheating, but there is something, and it is something that would have been painful had you known, or maybe you did know, when you were in bed with this person, maybe literally if this is romantic, or in bed with them financially, if this is a work-related thing. Somebody's going to express something. This could even be like an excuse. Somebody's going to tell you, oh, this didn't work because of, this is why I pulled out. This is why I didn't meet the requirements. This is why I didn't show up for the meeting. This is why I didn't show up for the relationship. This is why I couldn't show up for my kid. I just feel like collective is like what Chris Brown said. You on the outside. You can't even get in. How you hating from outside the club? I feel like that's what collective is like. Listen, Maybe you could have talked to me about it 2 years ago. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, my hands are tied. I don't know what to tell you. The sob story doesn't, it doesn't matter at this point. I don't know. This is somebody doing like a last-ditch effort to try to get you to understand. I'm doing the quotes for anybody who's on the headphones right now. What did I tell y'all? I'm fucking tired, bro. Tired. Yo. Two of Swords. How many times this Two of Swords came out? This is the Nine of Swords, because I got 7 swords here. The 4 and the 3 is 7. Somebody is coming to you to express something that they did. Somebody's coming to you to express something that they did. They're looking for some type of comfort. It's a last ditch effort, because somebody's like, I did this, and I did this, and I did this, and somebody thinks that by being honest now, that's them being accountable. It don't work that way. Don't shoot the messenger. Somebody thinks that because they admit to something they did, that's them being accountable. It don't work that way. That's not what accountability is. And that's not where it ends. Because it's part of it. That is a small fragment of being accountable, but that's not how it works. With the Two of Swords, this 7 becomes a 9. I don't know how many more ways I can say this. I feel like I done said it in Chinese. I done said it in all type of languages. 7 of Cups. I don't know how else to say this. What I got here? 7 of Cups. The 10 of Pentacles. The Princess of Cups with the Hangman. Somebody feels like they had it and it slipped through their fingers and they don't know how to attain it again. I don't know that you can. I don't know that you can. The Lovers. I don't know that you can. So, this one was kind of short today, but we're going to wrap it up right here because I am tired, but I'm not even going to lie to y'all. Look at the King of Swords. Yeah, we're going to end it right here. I don't know that, I don't know how much longer I can last doing a reading. I'm already feeling like, sorry, you know how right before you're going to cry or some shit, you start to feel like your throat, the back of your eyes, you start to feel the things. I'm already feeling the things, and I'm not trying to do that on live today. I'm upset because I couldn't get a chance to tap in with you guys in the chat. I don't like that. The screen never loaded, and I kind of just was in the zone with the cards. So my apologies for that. Members, you guys got content coming out today as per usual. Shout out to all my Libras, man. And to anybody who doesn't understand, I say this all the time. To anybody who doesn't understand how or why people grieve so much or for so long, like, just be grateful that you don't get it yet. You feel me? Because I feel like 10 seconds ago I was fine, and now I just feel like the world around me is like in flames. Like, that's what it feels like. That's grief. Feel me? I love you guys. Thank you guys for tapping in. Hit that like button on your way out. We'll be here tomorrow and hopefully in one piece. I'll catch you guys mañana.